Okay, now that my venture into K-pop has been complete, it's time for me to go back to what I know best. I want to make this quick, so I'm just going to reveal to you that this next series is going to be about Slipknot. I am thoroughly ready for these guys to just straight punch me in the face with their stuff, so let's get straight into their first album, the self-title. It feels good to be back doing metal stuff. Oh yeah, did I mention that their music is going to be hard to stomach for people who don't listen to metal? Yeah, I probably should mention that. I love how this song starts subdued and goes batshit crazy within the first 30 seconds. I feel like this is the first outwardly angry song I've reviewed on this channel, and it's set a fairly high bar.
Did you never give a damn in the first place? Maybe it's time you when the tables turn, 'cause in the interest of all.
The fact that Corey Taylor can transition from clean to scream while maintaining the melody has always fucking astounded me. I don't know about this one, Chief. At least this one is closer to the Slipknot sound I'm used to. Sure, let's go with that. Okay, good. I was starting to fear this album would be top-heavy. Not gonna lie, I didn't have high expectations after the first minute and a half of nothing, but the song got pretty decent when everything actually started. The only thing I can think of to say about this is that I would probably empathize with it if I could understand a single thing that was happening. I still have trouble sometimes. Man, not knowing the language is really going to handicap these reviews, isn't it? Only one of us walks away. Has a wrestling show used this as its main theme yet? Because that would be beautiful. An 8-minute Slipknot song is something that I didn't think I needed. I am now glad I have it. Man, I liked when this song was all guitars and screaming. That ending seriously made me uncomfortable. But then again, that's kind of the point, isn't it? Man, it is really hard to believe that this album came out 3 months after I was born. Anyway, that's Slipknot's self-titled album. Overall, I would say it's pretty good. If I had to score it, it'd be a 7 out of 10. Subscribe to me to keep up with the rest of the series. I'll be back next week for the next one. I will see you then. Here's hoping last week wasn't too rough for you, because it only gets tougher from here. Let's get into talking about Iowa. Man, when I was in high school, I used to bump this shit all the time. I'm not gonna play it here, but hell, that is one hell of a way to open your first verse.
You are wrong, fucked, and overrated. I think I'm gonna be.
No jokes. I just thought this one was good.
Everybody's so infatuated. Everybody's so.
I can confirm that it is significantly harder to come up with jokes when you can't understand the lyrics. Oh hey, it's another one of those songs that gets better once it actually starts up. Hearing this song made me imagine getting swallowed by a mosh pit, and for that, it scares me. I felt like I needed a second listen to this one, to be honest. I couldn't really pick up a lot. I mean, what I remember was okay. For a 6-minute song, it didn't really feel like there was a lot happening. I feel like I really shouldn't make a joke about this one. I like this one quite a bit, actually. Just because you can make a song 15 minutes long doesn't mean that it should be 15 minutes long. And that's Iowa for you. Let me just get this out of the way. The album was alright. The score I'm giving it is an 8 out of 10. Follow me across the internet with the link tree in the description below, and I'll be back next week. Jeez, sorry it took so long to get to the next album for this series. Not gonna lie, I kind of burned out with content for a while there, but I assure you that I'm 100% back and I'm ready to go. So we might as well keep moving forward on this Slipknot series, so let's talk about Volume 3. Well, this Slipknot album intro certainly does exist, doesn't it? The only thing that sprang to my mind was the clip from the live performance of this song when Chris dropped the snare drum. How has no sports team used this for when they're leading by 3? Come on, I really hope I'm not the first person to think of this. I mean, I totally get it. I've pushed my fingers into my eyes to stop the ache too. You'd be surprised by how therapeutic it is. Took a minute or two for me, but it won me over in the end. Well, this acoustic Slipknot song sure does exist, doesn't it? I don't think I've heard anyone talk about this song, and that sucks, because I really like it. Can't say I'm a huge fan of this one. I don't know what it is about this one, but it just hits me perfectly every time I hear it. Okay, I can't even pretend like this is a first impression. This is easily one of my favorite Slipknot songs. This part clears the first one, and I defy any of you to convince me otherwise. Man, I love when songs that feel like they're on some kind of crack just slow right the fuck down for seemingly no reason. These more lyrical songs really don't work well with this format.
We do feel alone.
Well, this Slipknot song sure does exist, doesn't it? Well, that was Volume 3. Personally, I thought it was pretty good. This is my final score for the album. Make sure you tell me how wrong I am in the comments below, and I'll be back next week for the All Hope Is Gone review. Should be a fun one. Take care. Only 3 albums to go after today. I don't want to waste your time with an intro, so let's just get straight in and talk about All Hope Is Gone. I have a difficult time with these album intros. Oh, so we're going back to angry Slipknot. Sweet. Honestly, I was a little too busy rocking out to write a joke for this, which I think is enough to get across how much I like it. Fun fact, this song actually introduced me to what metal could be, and it actually scared me when I first listened to it. Holds a special place in my heart. I like when Corey gets to show off his singing more. Why do I feel like Disturbed would make a fucking amazing cover of this? This one didn't click with me. It's almost the polar opposite of that song I talked about last week. Super slow with random bursts of crackhead energy. I guess it was okay. Honestly, I couldn't write a joke because I really couldn't gauge whether or not I liked it. This is another one where I really just don't know what to think. You know, most of the time I use the intro to these songs because I'm too lazy to find a better starting point, but I use the intro to this song because I don't want to be responsible for any tears being shed. Okay, how the fuck do you go straight back to everything is fucked rah rah and pretend like snuff didn't just happen? God, I love when albums like this have a dedicated breather song. Can't say this one's clicking with me either. And that was All Hope Is Gone. In my opinion, this album is another really solid entry. Here's my final score for it. Tell me how wrong I am in the comments below, and I'll be back next week to talk about the Gray chapter. See you guys then. We're getting close to the home stretch here. Only 2 more albums to go after this week. I don't exactly have an idea of who's going to be in my crosshairs next, but you'll know in time. But enough about that. We've got an album to talk about. Let's jump in and talk about point 5 of the Gray chapter. At least this intro actually felt like a song. I mean, it's alright for what it is, but it felt like something just didn't click with me. Now this, I like this one. Somehow the whole stop-start tempo thing didn't bug me this time. So beautifully twisted, I love it. I'm having far too many entries that boil down to, it's okay.
I know why Judas wept, motherfucker!
Thought it was gonna be another Gehenna, and boy was I surprised. Songs going from slow to fast is just something I apparently have a problem with. This has been noted for the future. I feel like no one gives Slipknot guitar solos any credit. Yeah, chalk this one up to, it's okay. Feels like AOV2, and I love it for that. Now, why does this feel like this should be the first track on this album? I try not to headbang while I listen to stuff for this show, but fuck it, I can't help it. Oh hey, that's another one for the, it's okay count. I really like the way the vocals on the chorus sounded. Feels like that's something they don't do much. I can definitely say that 99% of the time, I'll take aggressive slasher movie Slipknot over psychological thriller Slipknot. And that's all for the Gray chapter. Overall, the album has its really good moments, but the bulk of it can really be described with only one phrase. It's okay. This is my final score for the album. Tell me how wrong I am in the comments, and join me next week for the second to last album in the series. Take care. Yes, I know. It's been ages. I would explain why, but I have no real explanation. Let's just focus on the task at hand. I have a series to finish here. Let's just get talking about We Are Not Your Kind over with so I can move on to the other stuff. I listened to this album 4 years ago when it came out, and this is the only song that I have in any playlist of mine. Let's hope that's not a bad omen. It just feels like sensory overload again. To be completely honest, skipping insert coin and what's next for being too short could have worked for this song too. At least this one had lyrics. Okay, now this is more like it. I didn't really want to bring this back, but chalk this one up under, it's okay. I was into it until the acoustic intro stopped. Not sure why this is, but none of these songs are really holding my attention like the older stuff. Okay, these last 4 songs have been so mid it hurts. At least Spiders didn't overstay its welcome, though. It was fine. Not great. Not bad either. And that's all for We Are Not Your Kind. Overall, I was whelmed. Very whelmed. A few bright spots, but nothing to write home about, to be completely honest. This is my final score for the album. Tell me how wrong I am in the comments, and join me next week for the last album in the series. Trust me on this, the script is already written. Take care. Well, here's hoping this one's better than the last one. Spoilers for the previous review, I guess. I don't really feel like waiting anymore to get this done, so let's talk about the end so far and wrap this series up. This is Slipknot turned down to about a 4, and I somehow don't hate it.
Put your hands into the water, let your mouth go.
And they immediately turned it back up to 10.
Everything is gone online, and
More stuff like this and we'll be square.
you're the sin that I've been waiting for.
In 4 songs, this album has already been more worth listening to than pretty much the entirety of We Are Not Your Kind. Can they maintain this pace? Because this shit has been awesome so far. Gotta love it when I find new stuff for the playlist during these videos. Thank goodness this wasn't the only song in here that was over 6 minutes, because I would have screamed if it wasn't. The transition from the mellow intro to the actual song made me physically jump in my seat. Still maintaining that pace I talked about earlier. Probably wouldn't seek it out, but I wouldn't skip it if it came on. Refer to previous.
Now it's a shame, but I gotta stay.
Pretty good way to end the album, I'd say. That's all for the end so far, and Slipknot as a whole. Overall, it was one of the better albums I've listened to for this series. This is my final score for the album. Tell me how wrong I am in the comments, and join me next week for something else. God, I am praying for year-end season to get here soon. Take care.